Please be aware that I do not represent any company. I'm not endorsed by or affiliated with any automotive manufacturer or car dealership. All opinions expressed in this video are my own, and all trademarks, logos, and brand names are the property of their respective owners.
Hey guys, Victor G here, back with Project Tundra. So since I put the 14 psi pulley onto this thing, it's been struggling with getting enough fuel. So it's actually been running quite lean at high RPM, and I tried bumping up the fuel pressure, but it still wasn't working. So I ended up installing a fuel pressure gauge on it, and I found that not only are the injectors maxed out at around 4600 RPM, but the fuel pump can't keep up. Now, I've already replaced the TRD supplied in-tank pump with a Aeromotive 325 liter per hour unit, but turns out that thing was running flat out of fuel, also around 5000 plus RPM. So we've done a little more improvements to this last week to see where we can take it now. So I've still kept the stock, or not the stock, but the 325 Aeromotive in the tank. But now, instead of feeding the engine, I have a takeoff here with a 6AN line that runs up into a surge tank that I installed in a box. This is a 1 gallon surge tank I've installed in the trunk. So the advantages of this is I can run with an almost empty fuel tank, because before, as you launch, all the fuel would slosh to the back of the tank and our in-tank pump would starve for fuel. But here, the outlets for it are right at the bottom rear, so I can launch it on a quarter-mile track and it doesn't run out of fuel. So this is the feed line from the intake pump, and it fills the tank, always keeping it full. After that, it goes through these two hoses into the Aeromotive 1000. The pump is powered with really beefy 8-gauge wire, so it's never starving for voltage. After that, it goes into this big 8AN line, and that's what goes under the truck to the regulator. So the feed line comes out here and goes into this Holley EFI adjustable regulator. From there, it splits out into a T, and then on a factory system, the fuel comes into the driver's side rail and then crosses over into the passenger side. However, now I've split them in half, and now each rail is getting its own feed. So this is for the driver's side right here, and then this hose that feeds the passenger side, it goes way back there. So each one has its own 6AN line, and there's also a small tee-off for the nitrous system. So hopefully they'll be both getting enough fuel now. We also have a Autometer digital fuel pressure gauge that I installed inside, and then the excess fuel from the regulator dumps out of here and travels to the back of the truck again. The fuel that returns from the FPR comes up this line and then dumps back into the tank. And then since the tank is generally always full unless you're under full throttle, there's always going to be overflow. So I have that piped into this line here, and that line returns the fuel back into the factory return line. So the factory fuel lines are not used anymore. Everything's been upgraded, and now the circuit is complete. Well, now that I've got the upgraded fuel system, it's time to do some passes and see how big of a nitrous shot I can support on this. See you next time.